Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashilakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurati Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktamrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langhayate girim Yat kripatamaham vanda Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram. Hare Krishna. Yes, I'm very happy to meet all devotees. Some devotees are missing, but some devotees are not missing. Hare Krishna. Yes. So, last class we completed how Daksha was delivered by Lord Shiva's compassion. Yes. And if you remember, we started all these discussions. The fourth canto and the third canto speaks about the special type of creation Brahma does. There are two types of creation. Srimad Bhagavatam in the second canto mentions that it describes about 10 types of topics. Sarga, Visarga. I think you all remember. We will have a class on these 10 topics one time. So, out of the 10 topics, 2 topics are Sarga and Visarga. Sarga is creation, Visarga is Visesa Rupena creation, specific creation. One creation is done by Krishna and Vishnu, and another creation is done by Brahma. So, Vishnu creates the blueprint of the creation. He creates Brahma and the blueprint, and Brahma then, just like the CEO of a company gives a written blueprint that these all things have to be executed. So similarly, Vishnu creates the ingredients, creates the blueprint, and Brahma creates the specific creation that has to be done. Just like an architect creates the blueprint, and the laborers and the supervisors, the contractors, they work for the building and create and manifest the building. So exactly in the same way, though Vishnu is like the architect of this universe, and it is described what Vishnu does in the second and beginning of the third canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then middle of the third canto, Brahmaji starts creating. So Brahma is creating, and Brahma creates a lot of living entities, but finds that it's becoming very difficult for creation. Just imagine, you have to populate the universe and you are one person. How difficult it would be to actually create. It's a big creation. So Brahmaji creates Swayambhuva Manu and Satarupa. You remember? The first human beings and the first husband and wife of the creation. The first Valentines are created. Hare Krishna. And Swayambhuva Manu and Satarupa, they unite and create 3 daughters and 2 sons. So first, Maitreya Muni, Sukadeva Goswami, he describes the dynasties of the 3 daughters. The first daughter is Devahuti, second daughter is Akuti and Prasuti. Devahuti's descriptions are mentioned in the 3rd canto. Devahuti marries Kardama, and from both of them, Kapila Dev, who is an incarnation of God, Vishnu, comes. And then there is Akuti and Prasuti. Prasuti marries Daksha, which we described, all the pastimes of Daksha and Prasuti. And then another is Akuti, and Akuti marries one Rishi, and just a little bit of description is given about that lineage. So now the descendants of the sons of Swayambhuva Manu, you are able to understand. A little bit make some notes so that you will be able to understand. There is Brahma. From Brahma comes Swayambhuva and Satarupa. A little bit of family tree. So from Satarupa and Swayambhuva comes 3 daughters and 2 sons. The 3 daughters are Devahuti, Akuti and Prasuti. Devahuti marries Kardama, and Akuti marries one Rishi, and Prasuti marries Daksha. So Daksha's story we have already read. We are supposed to read the Kardama and Devahuti stories. We will read it later. And now we are going to read about the 2 sons of Swayambhuva Manu. The 2 sons, first son Uttanapad, his description is the entire 4th canto. And the second son Priyavrat Maharaj, his description is the entire 5th canto. You are able to understand how 3rd, 4th, 5th are designed, right? So the 3rd canto contains about Devahuti and Kardama, the daughter. The 4th canto beginning contains about Daksha and Prasuti, the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu. And the remaining of the 4th canto contains about Uttanapad, who is the son of Swayambhuva Manu. And another son, Priyavrat, is mentioned in the 5th canto. This is how the overview of the Srimad Bhagavatam is. Okay. So, Swayambhuva Manu had 2 sons. One is Uttanapad and another is Priyavrat. Priyavrat was the elder son, and he became a Naistik brahmachari, and he went to forest, and Narad Muni caught him. You know, whoever Narad Muni catches. So Narad Muni gave him special asirbad or blessing. And by special blessings of Narad Muni, Priyavrat Maharaj lost all interest to get married in life and settle and create children and all those things. And in Narad Muni said, ki, these are all not right. And just see how I am roaming around here and there and doing preaching and all. And you just stay in my ashram, do bhajan nicely. Life is meant for bhajan and going back to Godhead. Why you are entangling yourself in this grihastha ashram? Like that, Narad Muni nicely convinced Priyavrat Maharaj. And Priyavrat Maharaj was fully surrendered to Narad Muni. He went to the forest. Now who will become the king if the elder son goes away? So then the younger son, Uttanapad, is made the king. And now Brahmaji begins the story of Uttanapad. So we will read. So Uttanapad had 2 wives. One is Suruchi, another is Suniti. And from the 2 wives he had 2 sons. From Suruchi he had the son named Uttama, and from Suniti he had the son named Dhruva. Right. So we will see now what is happening. with all the sons. And what is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanang Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye. Hare Krishna. So this is Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, chapter 8, entitled Dhruva Lives for Forest, and this is text 9. So Uttanapad had 2 wives. Please be careful about the details, because these details are very important as we go ahead in today's class. Uttanapad had 2 wives, Suruchi and Suniti, and these 2 wives had one son each. Suruchi had Uttama, Suniti had Dhruva. Okay, let's go ahead. Ekada Suruche Putram Ankam Aropya Lalayam Uttamam Narurukshantam Dhruvam Raja Bhyanandata. Ekada Suruche Putram Ankamaropya Lalayan. Uttamam Narurukshantam Dhruvam Raja Bhyanandata. Yeah. Translation. Once upon a time, King Uttanapad was patting the son of Suruchi, Uttama, placing him on his lap. Dhruva Maharaj was also trying to get on king's lap, but the king did not very much welcome him. Okay, so we will read a little bit again. Ekada, once, Suruche, please keep muted, please keep muted, everyone keep muted. Pavan Krishna Prabhu, please control the, I'll make you co-host. Yeah. So, Ekada Suruche Putram, one time Suruchi's son, that is Uttama, Ankam Aropya, Ankam means lap, Ankam. Aropya means he was sitting on the lap. Lalayan means Uttanapad was cuddling him and embracing him, kissing him and giving him a lot of love and affection. So when Dhruva, who was roaming around, he saw that his brother Uttama is getting so much of affection from the father. It's a natural for a small boy, you know. Na rurukshantam. He was also trying to get into the lap of his father. But na means Uttanapad was not allowing Dhruva to get on his lap. Dhruvam Raja Bhyanandata. Though Dhruva was wanting to get on the lap of his father Uttanapad, but Uttanapad was not ready to get Dhruva on his lap. Why? Both are his sons only. Correct? Uttama is his son, Dhruva is his son, and Uttama is already on the lap. So he can get Dhruva also on his lap. Two small kids, can they not sit on the father's lap? Such a big father, Uttanapad, who is the son of Swayambhuva Manu. So he's a big father. So both can sit. But when Dhruva was trying to get on the lap of his father, Uttanapad was na rurukshantam. Rurukshantam means Dhruva was trying to get on. Na means Uttanapad was trying to not let him get on his lap. Okay, now we will see why. Tatha chikirshamanan tam sapatnya tanaya dhruvam suruchi shrunvato ragya Sersham ahati garvita. Hare Krishna. So this is the reason. While the child Dhruva Maharaj was trying to get on the lap of his father, Suruchi, his stepmother, became very anxious of the child, and with great pride she began to speak so as to be heard by the king himself. Tatha chikirsamana. Chikirsamana means specially endeavoring for something. Kirshamana, manlab, to do something. Chikirsamana, specially do something. Like some of you want to do a special endeavor. Someone wants to start a business. Chikirsamana, he has to specially endeavor. So Dhruva was specially somehow or other trying to get on the lap of father. Sapatnya, that means this entire thing is happening in Suruchi's palace. So Suniti had a palace. Suruchi had a palace. Uttanapad was in Suruchi's palace. And everything was happening in Suruchi's palace. Sa patnya tanayam dhruvam. And then Suruchi saw Dhruva's endeavors. Suruchi saw, what this fellow is doing. Suruchi, then what Suruchi did? Shrunvato ragya. Suruchi spoke in such a way that Uttanapad, he actually spoke to Dhruva, but he ensured that Uttanapad is hearing it. You understand? Sometimes we speak something, tir ek nisana, what you say sometimes,
एक ही तीर से दो निशाना.
नहीं. What do you say? कहीं पे निगाहें कहीं पे निशाना. हाँ, कहीं पे निगाहें कहीं पे निशाना. Yeah, very good. Good. Nice. कहीं पे निगाहें कहीं पे निशाना. So Suruchi was actually telling to Dhruva, but ensuring that the thing is being conveyed properly. So that's why it is written here. You see, Suruchi shrunvato ragya. Suruchi spoke in such a way that Dhruva is being targeted, but the lesson is for Ragya, Uttanapad. Sersham ahati garva. Aha matlab spoke. Ati garvita. Ati garvita means out of great pride, Suruchi spoke to Dhruva in order to give lessons to Uttanapad. Let's see what Suruchi has to speak. Okay. So this is the purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The king, Uttanapad, of course, was equally affectionate towards both his sons, Uttama and Dhruva. Okay? So let's be very, very careful in reading the purport. The king, of course, was equally affectionate towards both his sons, Uttama and Dhruva. So he had a natural inclination to take Dhruva as well as Uttama on his lap. So that means Uttanapad also wanted Dhruva to join his lap. Uttanapad also wanted Dhruva to come and sit on his lap. But, you see the but, because of his favoritism towards his queen Suruchi, he could not welcome Dhruva Maharaj despite his feelings. Hare Krishna. King Uttanapad's feeling was understood by Suruchi. And therefore, with great pride, she began to speak about the king's affection for her. Hare Krishna. This is the nature of a woman. If a woman understands that her husband regards her as a favorite and is especially affectionate to her, she takes undue advantage. These symptoms are visible even in such an elevated family as the family of Swayambhuva Manu. Therefore, it is concluded that the feminine nature of woman is present everywhere. Hare Krishna. We will see ahead. Now Suruchi is going to speak. So, the first lesson that we are going to learn here from this story is Uttanapad. He was affectionate to Dhruva and Uttama, but he could not make Dhruva to sit on his lap. The reason being, he was very, very, very fearful of Suruchi. And he knew that Suruchi is nearby, and not just nearby, he is in the palace of Suruchi, and there will be problems. And Suruchi in turn also knew that how Uttanapad is mad after her and she can do anything and everything. So the first lesson that we are learning from this episode of Dhruva Maharaj, from this pastime, is distractions. How we have to be very, very careful about getting distracted. Suruchi and Suniti. Mr. Uttanapad, let's put Uttanapad and Suruchi now on our table, Bhagavatam table, to do a little bit of dissections with all respect to both of them. Now Uttanapad is such a great soul, but he was having Suruchi, special affection to a lady. And that affection, no problem, you can be affectionate to a lady, you can be affectionate to a man, you can be affectionate to both man and woman, you can be affectionate to a boy, a girl, anything, no problem. But his Suruchi came in the path of Suniti. It was creating problem for his principles. So the first lesson we are learning from this is that if we want to advance in devotional service, we should not let our ruchi come in the path of niti. Uttanapad allowed Suruchi to come in the path of Suniti. Just like Dhruva Maharaj is somehow or other trying to put himself on the lap of Uttanapad, actually our heart, we want to put Krishna in our heart. We want to make our heart a Sri Vrindavan Dham. We want Krishna to come and reside on the throne of our heart. Yes, we say like that. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, Mama mana mandire raho nishidi Krishna Murari, Shri Krishna Murari. But somehow or other, we have already placed the son of Suruchi. Suruchi represents our distractive attachments, our attachments to distractions. But somehow or other, we have placed the son of Suruchi already in our lap, and we are so fearful to give it up that even though these distractions are coming on the path of my devotional service, even though these distractions are coming and breaking the principles, I am helpless. Hare Krishna. Just like Uttanapad, he is helplessly affected by Suruchi. Hare Krishna. Yes. So we have to ensure that if we really want to advance in Krishna consciousness, we have to make sure that our advancement is checked by these distractions. And these distractions can create havoc. And we need to give up these distractions and take shelter of the right principles. Just like how people can become blinded. Yes, any examples from the scriptures how people had got blinded by attachment, wrong attachment?
Yes, Prabhu. Ajamil.
Ajamil, very good. Ajamil, we read the story of Ajamil, how he left his wife and father and mother and ran before a prostitute. Yes. Well,
Dhritarashtra was attached to his son.
Dhritarashtra was attached to Duryodhana. For Dhritarashtra, Suruchi was Duryodhana and Suniti were the Pandavas and Yudhishthir, correct? But he was attached to Duryodhana. Yeah.
Can we talk about Kaikai?
Kaikai was attached to Bharata and he was not attached to Ram. Yes. Anyone else? How sometimes some people may get blinded.
Chitraketu Maharaj?
Yeah, Chitraketu Maharaj also got blinded because of his attachment to his son that came from his wife Kritadviti, correct? Kritadviti. Yes? Who is speaking? Speak again. Say it again.
Bharat Maharaj Babuji.
Yeah, Bharat Maharaj. Who is speaking this? Oh, Sanjukta Mataji. Yes. So Bharat Maharaj got affected by a deer. So we also have a lot of deers. So Bharat Maharaj also got affected by a deer, and finally Bharat Maharaj became a deer. We will see those stories in the 5th canto. Bharat Maharaj comes in the line of the Priyavrat Maharaj. You know, Uttanapad, Priyavrat. Priyavrat's line, Bharat Maharaj comes. He got affected by deer. Yeah. So in this way, people have got blinded. Just imagine how much Dhritarashtra was blinded by Duryodhana, that Dhritarashtra even allowed Duryodhana to disrobe Draupadi. Can you imagine? What sort of horrible attachment Dhritarashtra had? So similarly here Uttanapad is having attachment to distractions, and because of which he is not able to follow the right principles. As a father, he has to be equally affectionate, as it is written. You see what is written? The king, of course, was equally affectionate towards both his sons Uttama and Dhruva, so he had a natural inclination to take Dhruva and Uttama on his lap. So this is the problem when we have in Krishna consciousness, when in our bhakti, we have inclination for both. I will also enjoy little bit this world, and have some fun, have some Suruchi also, and Suniti also. You are understanding Uttanapad's situation, having Suruchi and Suniti both on the same platform, same, and trying to handle both of them. And so we also try to handle Suruchi and Suniti together. We also have our Suruchis. Yes, what all of you, I don't want to ask all of you, but all of you have your Suruchis. Yes, anyone would like to say your Suruchis? Yes, anyone would like to volunteer? Yes, Nidhi Mataji's Suruchi.
Prabhuji, sometimes at the time of chanting, I get very much inclined towards watching TV thriller shows.
Okay. So TV thriller shows like Ahat and all this G horror show and
Yes,
this
anything thriller and crime based, I really
crime.
like to.
Crime? Okay. So this is Suruchi, and imagine both the crime and thriller, and Krishna is looking at the thriller show and trying to get on, but the thriller show is on the lap of the heart of Nidhi Mataji, and Krishna is looking, oh, when the thriller will get down, and so this is Suruchi. Yes, anyone else would like to tell their Suruchi? People are not.
Social media and mobile.
Okay, mobile and WhatsApp. So imagine you are chanting and chanting and chanting. Your Suruchi has sent a Suruchi through the Suruchi of WhatsApp, and the Suruchi of the WhatsApp is making the so nice sound, and you are able to hear. Uttanapad is hearing. Tutu. And the sound creates an upsurge of Suruchi emotions, that my Suruchi has sent a message through the Suruchi app. WhatsApp. Yes, so this is social media and all. So these are also Suruchis. Yes, anyone else? What all Suruchi? Yes, all of you are not. A very important Suruchi is missing. Yes. What? Yes.
Probably just camping करने के time में maybe some office work किया हुआ रहता है.
So office work is also Suruchi. Okay. Office work is a civilized Suruchi. There are a lot of uncivilized Suruchis also that comes in the life of a person, right? How I am great, how I will establish myself that how I am great, and all these things are Suruchis that comes where our attachment, specific attachment to certain distractions which are not healthy for our advancements in devotional service, comes in the path of the right principles, and then it creates havoc. Then it creates havoc in our life. So now we will see what Suruchi is going to speak. Hare Krishna. Let's see what is Suruchi has to speak. Now Suruchi is speaking to Dhruva so that Uttanapad gets the message. Hare Krishna. Na vatsa nipate dhishnyam Bhavanarodhumarhati Na grihito maya yatvam Kukuksha api nipatmajaha. Yeah. Translation. Queen Suruchi told Dhruva Maharaj, my dear child, you do not deserve to sit on the throne or on the lap of the king. Surely you are also the son of the king. But because you did not take your birth from my womb, you are not qualified to sit on your father's lap. Hare Krishna. Na Vatsa. He is speaking so nicely to Dhruva. Vatsa means calf. You know how cute calf can be? So, Suruchi is addressing Dhruva as Vatsa. Very nice. You are so nice, boy. Nripate Dhishnyam. But though you are so cute, Vatsa, but still you will not be able to sit on the lap of the king. Don't you know that? Then Dhruva may ask, why? Bhavan arodhum arhati. You do not deserve to sit on the lap of the king. Arey, why? I am cute. I am also a cute son. Uttama is also a cute son. I am also a cute son. Both are cute son. Why I cannot? Na grihito maya yatvam. But you are not my son. Kukuksho api nipatmaja. Though you are nipatmaja, you are also born from the king, but you are not born from my womb. You are born from the king. You are also king's son. I agree with it. But kukoksha api nipatmaja. Api nipatmaja. Api matlab although you are also king's son, but you are not born from my womb. So how will you be able to sit? Queen Suruchi very proudly informed Dhruva Maharaj that to be the king's son was not the qualification for sitting on the lap or throne of the king. Rather, this privilege was dependent on one's having taken birth from her womb. In other words, she indirectly informed Dhruva Maharaj that although he happened to be born of the king, he was considered an illegitimate son because of his birth from the womb of other queen. Hare Krishna. And then Dhruva Maharaj may look at Suruchi and say, Ki, what mother you are speaking? What is this? And then Suruchi speaks. Balosi batanatmanam. Bolo.
Batanatmanam.
Anyastri garva sambritam.
Anyastri garva samritam.
Nyunam veda bhavan yasya.
Tunam veda bhavan yasya.
Durlabhe arthe manoratha.
Durlabhe arte manoratha.
My dear child, you are unaware that you were born not of my womb but of another woman. Therefore, you should know that your attempt is doomed to failure. You are trying to fulfill a desire which is impossible to fulfill. Hare Krishna. Bala asi, you are a child, you don't understand. You may think he is mother, you are mother, everyone is mother, but I am not mother. Na atmanam anyastri garva samritam. You are born from that stri who has no control over Uttanapad the king. But unfortunately, you are not born from that stri who has full control from on Uttanapad. The small child Dhruva was naturally affectionate towards his father, and he did not know that there was any distinction between his two mothers. This distinction was pointed out by Queen Suruchi, who informed him that since he was a child, he didn't understand the distinction between two queens. This is another statement of Queen Suruchi's pride. Then last, okay, Dhruva Maharaj will ask, okay, my dear mother, tell me how I can, it is impossible task to sit on now Uttanapad's lap, my father's lap. You tell me how to make this impossible happen possible. Tell me now. Tapasa aradhya purusham. Tassaivanugrahena me. Garve tvam sadhaya matmanam. Yadi ichhasi nipasanam. Tapasa aradhya purusham. You have to do lot of austerities, tapasya, and while doing that austerities, you have to do aradhya. You have to do aradhana of Vishnu, Purusam. tasyaiva anugrehane. And when you get the anugraha, when you get the blessings of Vishnu by the tapasya you have performed to him, me garbhe, then you will get the good fortune of coming and residing in my garbha, my womb. Just imagine. Great. Tvam sadhayatmanam. Then when you get a proper place in my womb, sadhayatmanam means sadhaya matlab place. So when you get this place, what place? Place in my womb. Yadi ichhasi nipasanam. If you want to sit on the king's lap, first you have to do aradhana to Vishnu. When you do aradhana to Vishnu, Vishnu will be pleased. And when Vishnu is pleased, he will put you on my womb. And when you are born of my womb, then you will be able to lift on the lap of your father. Nipasanam. If you at all desire to rise to the throne of the king, then you have to undergo severe austerities. First of all, you must satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan. And then when you are favored by him, because of such worship, you shall have to take your next birth from my womb. Purport. Suruchi was so envious of Dhruva Maharaj that she indirectly asked him to change his body. According to her, first of all he had to die, then take his next body in her womb, and only then it would be possible for Dhruva Maharaj to ascend to the throne of his father. Hare Krishna. And from next class we will see that what Dhruva did. So we see here what made Suruchi to speak like this. Yes, anyone would like to say? What made Suruchi to speak like this? Okay.
Blind favor of Uttanpad Maharaj towards her.
Okay, blind favor of Uttanapad Maharaj towards her. Sukriti Mataji is telling, yes.
Not only that, Prabhuji, Suruchi wants his son to become a king in the future, and he doesn't want Dhruva Maharaj.
Okay, Suruchi wants her son to become king in the future or not, so that's what. Okay. Swati Mataji, envy. Okay, who else would like to speak?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, it's envy only towards the Dhruva Maharaj's mother.
Okay, Dhruva Maharaj's mother ko envy hua. Okay, envy towards Dhruva.
Prabhuji, Suruchi wanted Uttanpad also not to love Dhruv as much as he loves Uttam.
Okay, Suruchi didn't want it. Okay.
Pride.
Okay.
प्रभुजी, it is natural ना कि उनको तो यही है कि मेरा बेटा राजा बने और राजा का पूरा अटेंशन मेरे बेटे की तरफ.
Okay. Yes. Sabyasachi Prabhu has raised hand.
It's mostly the favoritism, and many times we just maybe Dhruva talked about he wanted also Bharat to be the king because of favoritism or attachment towards own lineage. Maybe she wants to be the power center when her son will be the king. And many times we have seen this verse also comes to knowledge that ayam nijo parveti ganana laguchetasam udara charita nantu vasudeva kutugama. Ye mera hai, wo tera hai. Many times we feel discrimination, and the society is likely so also. So maybe that's one kind of envy, attachment, which is led to this discrimination in the mind of the queen, who doesn't want that Dhruva, who is not her son, should be the king and attached to Uttanpad.
Okay, good. So it's about Suruchi's attachment to her lineage and all those things. Yes, Sunita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Dangatna.
Prabhuji, it's a feeling of superiority that Suruchi has over Suniti. She is superior to her.
Okay. Superiority of Suniti Maharani, Suruchi to over Suniti and Dhruva and all those. Yes, yes, okay. What made Suruchi to make such statements? Yes.
Suruchi was given more importance, by her husband.
So one Hari Bol for Selja Mataji.
Hari Bol.
Yeah. So Suruchi is designed by, not Suruchi. Suruchi is designed by?
Uttanpad.
Very good. So we have to understand the fault is not of Suruchi, fault is of Uttanapad. So sometimes in our lives we say, Ki Prabhu, these distractions are troubling me, envy is troubling me, pride is troubling me, anger is troubling me. No. You are allowing envy, pride, anger of Suruchi to trouble you. So the problem is of Uttanapad, not Suruchi. We'll discuss about Suruchi's problem also. Now first Uttanapad is on the dissection table. So, let us first analyze. So Suruchi is created by Uttanapad. Uttanapad created Suruchi. And it is Uttanapad's weakness towards Suruchi that led to everything. It was Dhritarashtra's weakness towards Duryodhana. It was Dasarath's weakness towards Kaikeyi. Hare, Dasarath Maharaj, he has given some vow to this wife, some 2 boons. So what is the use of these 2 boons? These 2 boons, what he has given to wife, are these 2 boons have become such great that he can drive away Lord Ramachandra from his life. Can you imagine? Dasarath Maharaj completely lost all intelligence. Real intelligence is to give up everything for the pleasure of God. The gopis gave up everything for the pleasure of God, and Dasarath Maharaj gave up God for the pleasure of the Niti. Just see. One has to give up all Niti for the pleasure of God, but Dasarath Maharaj gave up everything for the pleasure of Krishna, or for the pleasure of Kaikeyi, and to show how he is such a Nitiban Purush. Right? Dasarath Maharaj wanted to show to the world how Raghukul Riti Sada Chali Aayi, Pran Jai Par Bachan Na Jai. And that is why we have to understand that dharma has to be weighed properly. And if we try to weigh ourselves dharma, we will land up into just like Dasarath Maharaj or Uttanapad. Uttanapad and Dasarath Maharaj didn't took help of their guru. Did Dasarath Maharaj consulted Vasishtha? Did Dasarath Maharaj, Vasishtha was there on the in that place only. Did Dasarath Maharaj consulted Narad Muni? Narad Muni used to visit everywhere. He is the guru, Chara guru, everywhere. Dasarath Maharaj had access to all the great sages. He didn't ask anyone. Hare, I am put in a situation like this my wife is telling, because he was blindly attached to Kaikeyi. So Uttanapad, Suruchi is designed by Uttanapad's weakness, blind weakness towards Suruchi. So we should never think that our distractions are causing trouble to my bhakti. It is we who are allowing our distractions to cause trouble to our bhakti. It is we who are allowing Suruchi. It is not the Suruchi has envious or Suruchi is envious of Suniti. It is Uttanapad who fueled Suruchi. Suruchi knew, just like if you read the purport. Prabhupada mentions that. If you have missed, I'll show you. King Uttanapa's feelings was understood by Suruchi, and therefore with great pride she began to speak about king's affection for her. Hare Krishna. So Uttanapad very well knew, Suruchi very well knew, this fellow is so weak, so dhila dhala. Whatever I will say, she will just, you have seen sometimes people become just like Kataputli, puppet, you know, whatever, I will just put chabi and Uttanapad will dance. And Suruchi had this conviction, and this conviction created these episodes. So Uttanapad was weak for Suruchi, and that is why if we have to become advance in devotional service, we have to become strong. Now, how to become strong? What is the problem of Uttanapad? Yes, what is the problem of Uttanapad?
He could not make right decisions, Prabhuji.
Okay, he could not make right decisions. Okay, right. And that, okay, no one is a, yes.
He was giving too much of priority to...
No, he was giving us so much of priority to Suruchi, okay. Yeah. Okay, so he should not give priority to Suruchi?
He should balance the things.
Okay, like he should balance the thing. Okay.
Because anyhow he's having 2 queens, right?
Okay, he married to 2 queens, then okay, why he married to 2 queens? Actually, Suniti is the elder queen. And then we can understand why he married to the 2nd queen. Yeah, yes, Kushal Bihari Prabhu wants to say something. Yes.
Towards the beauty of the Suruchi, he was lusty towards that.
Uttanapad was lusty towards the external beauty of Suruchi, and that helped him to give up the right principles of Suniti. This is the lust of Uttanapad who has created the story. Envy of Suruchi comes subservient to the lust of Uttanapad. You are all blaming Suruchi. Don't put so much of guns on Suruchi. The first gun is Uttanapad. His lustful, blind attachment to the external beauty. Just see what poison Suruchi is taking out. He's a putana inside. Huh? And what poison she is blurting out, and this fellow Uttanapad, and the next sloka which comes ahead, Uttanapad is seen silently sitting after hearing Suruchi's words. I will show you we are supposed to discuss it next class, just because it comes in the same line, thought process. It's that Maitriya Uvacha, Matu Sapatnya Sar Durukti Biddha. When Dhruva Maharaj saw that his father was silent and did not protest, he immediately left the palace and went to his mother. So Dhruva Maharaj got very disturbed. We will see about disturbance of Dhruva Maharaj next class. But Dhruva Maharaj was very disturbed. But he was not disturbed about Suruchi. He was disturbed about silence of Uttanapad. So Suruchi's envy, Suruchi's pride is created by the lust for the external beauty for his wife Suruchi. So when a husband is externally attached to the wife and not attached to the instructions of the sadhu, this is what results, just like Uttanapada. So we have to understand this energy between man and woman, it is very, 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 very strong. And if we are not careful in regulating this attachment, it can create havoc. And that is why in Vedic society, the husband, it would be unhealthy if the husband is externally attached to a wife. The husband should be attached to the suniti, to the principles of the wife, not to the suruchi, to the externals of the wife. The husband should be attached to the service attitude of the wife, the good qualities of the wife, the chastity of the wife, the wonderful values that the lady is carrying, not to the external beauty. As soon as a man gets affected by the external beauty of a woman, that creates destruction for the man. Similarly, for Suruchi, we will discuss about Suruchi. First, let's discuss about man. Mr. Uttanapad was affected by the externals. And because he was affected by externals, he got married again. Now one may say, what's wrong in getting married? Kshatriyas used to get married so much. Krishna married so much. When Lord Ramachandra came in the role of a king, he wanted to establish the role of an ideal king. What Lord Ramachandra did? He took one Eka Patni Brata. So all the lusty kings, you will give example of Krishna, that you see Krishna took so many wives, so we can also have so many wives, but they forget that the ideal example for the king that Lord has come and set is Ramachandra, who took Ekapatni Brata. And Krishna is never a husband, Krishna is always a brahmachari. Krishna never wanted to marry. Is Krishna wanting to marry Rukmini or Rukmini wanting to marry Krishna?
Rukmini wants to marry.
If Krishna wanting to marry Satyabhama, or Satyabhama's father Satyajit gave Satyabhama to Krishna, tell me. Krishna never wanted to marry anyone. Krishna didn't wanted to marry Lakshmi. That's what Lakshmi saw, the defect in Krishna. The only defect in Krishna was Lakshmi saw Narayan doesn't want to marry me. Otherwise, Narayan is a mine of all good qualities. This is what we should learn, how to follow and become a man. If a man is attached to woman, he is not a man. Man has to be attached to the right principles. So this is what we should learn from the life of Ramachandra and Narayan, and that is why the man in Vedic times was trained in self-control, character, and the lady was trained in chastity. So we see, because men are lusty, that is creating Suruchi like women in this world. Now we may blame, all of you, what you blamed? The first thing you blamed was Suruchi. Suruchi को डाल के पहले उत्तानपाद को उतारो टेबल से, Suruchi को उठाओ, put Suruchi on the table and make Suruchi the bad guy. Yes, Suruchi, we will discuss about her, what is her problem, but the problem begins, the root cause of the problem is the man. His Holiness Bhakti Brihad Swami Maharaj, he was giving a seminar in ISKCON Calcutta many years before. He had come to our ashram, he was giving a seminar. He said, why the society is disrupted? The entire Vedic society is disrupted, and we have created this modern society, so much of chaos in the modern society. What is the problem? So many people were speaking so many things and all those things. Then he started listing down all problems. The first problem, he said, we are sending our parents to old age homes. And then like so many problems of the modern society he was trying to list down, and then he said, why all these problems are there? And then many were telling many problems, many reasons and all. He said, the problem is men are becoming lusty for the external beauty of women, and we are not having right brahmachari ashram. This is the beginning of all fall down of the modern society. We have not established the brahmachari ashram and also the ladies ashram. The ladies were also trained also. We will discuss about what ladies were trained when we will put Suruchi on the dissection table. But men are not trained in self-control. Men are not trained in character. And because men are not trained in character, like Uttanapad, they create Suruchis in this world. The ladies who are behaving unruly in this world are created by lustful men. They are fueled by lustful men who have empowered them to behave like this. Why the ladies are behaving like Suruchi? You all know how the ladies are behaving. Some of the characterless ladies in today's society, they are behaving. Why? Because there are characterless men. And because they are getting so much of business, they will behave. Correct? Imagine there is no business for these characterless ladies. Will they behave? What creates the business for the characterless ladies is the characterlessness of the man. So that is why Uttanapad has created Suruchi. Uttanapad's negligence to be careful in dealing with this energy of attraction of man and woman, his carelessness in dealing with this energy has created this entire story. Whatever is going to go ahead, and we see what all things will happen. So Suruchi was fueled by Uttanapad's lust. And one has to understand that as man, and also when we have boys and girls as children, we have to always tell them that one has to be very careful. Nowadays in teenage and also in adolescence and also as the kids, everywhere there is so much of mixing of the opposite gender, and so much of mixing. And we are so proud that we have created a free culture. Yes, we have created a free culture to get beaten up nicely by the material energy. This free culture is created to be nicely beaten up by the material energy. There is no concept of freedom when we are attracted. You see, is Uttanapad having any freedom now? What freedom he has? He is simply a puppet in the hands of Suruchi. What freedom he has? So this free culture, the man loses all freedom. Suruchi also, the woman also loses all freedom. Now is Suruchi having any freedom? What words he is speaking? Huh? Can you imagine? He is telling, अरे नारायण को उपासना करो तब जाके मेरे कोख से पैदा होगा तुम. That's what he is telling. What? Not. Is Suruchi having any freedom? She lost all sense. Uttanapad also has lost all sense because this lust has made them all nonsense. So by this free culture that we are propagating in modern society, we are creating Uttanapads and Suruchis. And we have to understand this energy. It may be very difficult for all of you to digest, but understand this energy is very, very, very dangerous. We need to maintain very, very careful distance between the opposite gender. And that is the beginning of spiritual life. So many people condemn when they come to ISKCON temple. Wherever you go, ladies separate, men separate. They stand separate, men separate. You have seen? So people condemn. Arey, what is this? And in West, in ISKCON temples, it is very difficult. Very, very difficult. So much of pressure. No, 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 it's all about freedom. You are creating a distinction between man and woman. Arey, we are not creating distinction between man and woman. We are creating distinction between sensibility and non-sensibility. We are not creating distinction between man and woman. We are creating distinction between good fortune and misfortune. Uttanapad's lust and Suruchi's lust towards Uttanapad created misfortune. Later on you will see Suruchi will die because of committing offense to Dhruva. Not just Suruchi, Uttama will also die. Later on in the pastime, as we go ahead, we will see what is the result of Vaishnava. Dhruva has not become a Vaishnav till now. Later on, Dhruva will become Vaishnav. But the offense that Suruchi did to Dhruva will fructify even if Dhruva is not in. So such harsh words Dhruva was spoken by Suruchi. So this is the first thing, that Uttanapad made Suruchi like this. So as men, we should never follow in the footsteps of Uttanapad, and we should develop sense control towards the externals of a lady. And rather we should be attracted to the divine qualities that are there in the lady. Just like Uttanapad had such a nice wife who is Suniti. We will see how this is the quality of Suniti. We will see the contrast between Suruchi and Suniti as we go ahead. Next class we will see Suniti. Such a wonderful wife. Okay, maybe Suniti was little not beautiful. I don't know. So mostly Suniti, if she is the Bahurani of Swayambhuva Manu's family, I don't think Suniti would be like externally ugly. I don't believe that. But Uttanapad could not see the divine qualities of Suniti and was attracted by the external Putana-like beauty, Shrupanekha-like beauty of Suruchi. This is what the men have to learn today. And this, if the men learn, then society will improve. Society is degrading because men are attracted to Suruchi and not Suniti. And if the men are attracted to Suniti, Suruchi's business is finished. Vichara Suruti, all the business is finished, all the models and all business they are making because of Uttanapad, like men. And they are destroying the society, destroying the peace of the society. So the first problem is Uttanapad. And next we will go ahead Suruchi. As Suruchi, as a lady, we must know as a lady or a female, we have got strong power within us to control and delude men. And when we know that, it is our responsibility to use the power responsibly. And when ladies do not understand, this is what exactly ladies were taught separately. That you fellows, you have got great power to control man. Don't control man. Tell your husband to take shelter of Guru. Tell your husband to take shelter of Bhagavad Gita. Tell your husband not to become just a money-making machine. And take shelter of Guru. Which wife tells nowadays, tell me? Which wife? All the wives will tell, go and get money, 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 money is sweeter than honey. पैसा लेके आओ, पैसा लेके आओ, पैसा लेके आओ. मेरे को Amazon में ये खरीदना है, वो खरीदना है. I will to purchase this, I have to purchase that, I have to purchase that. So they are like Suruchis. And they'll make their husband like some ATM machine, gets more money, get more money. Now we are staying in 2 BHK, I have to stay in 4 BHK, I have to stay in a bungalow and get, and the husband is working hard day and night, getting loans after loans and EMIs after EMIs, and bichara husband. So this is Suruchi. One has to understand the ladies have got this power which is given to them to make men work responsibly. But the ladies are using that power to because they know, अरे ये तो मेरा चेला है उत्तानपाद. So he is speaking to Dhruva, she is speaking to Dhruva, but what Maitreya is telling? Shrunvata Ragya. In order to show, just see how I control Uttanapad, the king. He may be thinking he is king of the universe. I am actually the queen because I control the king of universe. So this Suruchi, like woman, because there is no education for the ladies, they are not taught. The ladies are also taught everything. Yes, we are not in against of ladies knowing, learning physics, chemistry, mathematics and all. But the ladies have to be taught that how they can control men and how they can use this power that they have to control men in the most degrading way by like Suruchi and Kaikeyi. And if the ladies are not given that education in Brahmacharini ashram, and then that also creates a havoc. So the ladies were given also all knowledge about Sanskrit. We see Kunti Maharani speaking such eloquent Sanskrit slokas. Can any of the girls speak such slokas? So that means they were given knowledge about Sanskrit, they were given knowledge about so many other things. But along with that, the primary knowledge also that was given to a lady was how the lady can control a man and how this power is given by nature so that the lady controls the man responsively. The lady tells the man, take shelter of Guru. The lady tells the man, go and attend class, otherwise today's prasad is not there. Where is your chanting bid bag? Yes? And the man, because, he has to get prasadam, right? So what he is going to do? He has to chant. He has to follow the principles. So this is what the lady, the female, is supposed to serve as an inspiration to man. Yes, we have heard. My spiritual master was asked that we have heard that behind every successful man there is a woman, because women serve as inspiration for man to work hard. So where is your inspiration coming? You are a monk. So my Gurudev said, my inspiration is coming from Radharani, who is the epitome of all feminine qualities. So the females would understand the Suruchi, she knew and she utilized this principle wrongly. Just like Diti, we came to know about Diti, we read the story of Diti. We also hear the story of Kaikeyi. So they have used these principles wrongly, and that's why as ladies we need to be taught how to behave so that the man is surrendered to Guru. That is what wives should be concerned about. Arey, my husband has no Guru. My husband is not following the scriptures and not reading scriptures. I will behave in such a way. If you really want the ladies should control their husband, they should control the husband in such a way not to make the husband an ATM machine, but make the husband like Dhruva, make the husband like Narad Muni, make the husband like special great souls like Bhisma, like Janak Maharaj. Janak Maharaj was also husband, right? So the ladies should use their power responsibly. Suruchi knew that she has power and she used that power wrongly, right? But the first fault is Uttanapad, not of Suruchi. So though both are equally faulty, both Uttanapad and Suruchi are equally faulty, but the fault begins with Uttanapad and Suruchi is the catalyst, right? But this is a lesson individually for the men and women, that we must understand this energy, the attraction that is being created between the opposite gender is the most powerful energy, much powerful than any of the energy of this world. And as responsible And as parents for devotional service, we need to be very careful with this energy. Otherwise, we may land up like Uttanapad or like Suruchi, misusing this energy for our vested interest. So this is what a husband and wife should behave. Husband should be attached to Guru and instructions, and not to the external beauty of Suruchi, but the divine qualities of a wife like Suniti. And the wife should understand that I can control my husband, but I should control my husband to become a devotee of Krishna in such a way that he is inspired to become a good devotee of Krishna, and not he is inspired to become an ATM machine and bringing money, just money, 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 and making me the queen in the kingdom. So these are the two principles that we can learn. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Uttanapad Maharaj ki jai. Suruchi Devi Dasi ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yes. Selja Mataji has one question. Kushal Bihari Ko has one question. Oh, so many questions. Oh, I think I spoke about some controversial topic or what? Yes.
Prabhuji, मेरा question ये है कि like when you were talking about कि Dasharath had Ram, but he chose Kaikeyi. So Prabhuji, like in our devotional life, we see that devotional things, whatever we are learning, it's like mostly it is philosophy. It comes when we practice more, then it in reality we get little taste, and it takes lot of time. It's not that immediately we get the taste of bhakti. So definitely we get the taste of material life. And it is like without even getting, with only seeing we get the taste. Like if you don't have money, and if you see the people are having a lot of money, we are attracted towards it.
Yes.
So प्रभुजी ये बहुत like दशरथ के पास राम थे, फिर भी उन्होंने कैकेयी को चूज किया. तो प्रभुजी मतलब अब हमारे लाइफ में कैसे हम उसको मतलब ठीक है हमें वो थोड़ा टेस्ट मिल रहा है तो we are continuing bhakti, but how we can see that मतलब bhakti is not as attractive as material.
Yeah. So bhakti is not attractive because we do not have attraction for Krishna in our heart, and so long that is there, till that point we will remain sadhana bhaktas, or we'll have to do the sadhana of getting rid of the material world from our life. So yes, we are attracted to some people who are having money and we do not have money, and we know that Krishna is more important than money, but still we getting attracted. Yes, no problem, we can get attracted, but at least that attraction should be within the boundaries of the right principles. We should not break the right principle to accumulate more money. The final stage is to get to have no attachment for money, but the intermediate step is to have attachment to right artha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Ultimately, we have to get moksha from either dharma of this world, artha of this world, and enjoyment of this world. Even we have to get mukti about the dharma of the world. We have created so many dharmas in this world. Desa dharma, stri dharma, pati dharma, santana dharma. So many dharmas we have created. So that dharma also we have to give up. The artha of this world we have to give up. And kama also we have to give up. So ultimately we have to give up when we go to spiritual world, but at least because we are not able to give up, we are not in the platform of mukti. So till that time we have to follow dharma, artha, kama based on the right principles. There are right principles. So we should not break the right principles to accumulate money in a wrong way. And our attachment to spirituality is fueled by how much we are attached to the words of the spiritual master. If we are attached to the word, the Guru is attached to Krishna, we are not able to attach ourselves to Krishna. Get attached to Guru. Get attached to the words of the spiritual master. It is the easier path. But if we try to direct...
Dashrath could not get attached to Ram.
He was attached to Lord Ram, but he could not weigh what is the higher principle, what is the lower principle. Dharmam tu tat. So there is one verse I will show you in Srimad Bhagavatam. Mahajano yena gatasya pantha. Just 1 minute, I'll open that verse. Tarko pratishtha srutayo bribhinna. This is the verse. Tarko pratishtha shrutayo bibhinna. Yes, repeat all of you.
Tarko pratishtha shrutayo bibhinna.
Naso rishiryasya matam nabhirnam.
Nasavarishya matam nabhirnam.
Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam.
Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam.
Mahajano yena gatassa pantha.
Mahajano yena gatassa pantha.
Yeah. Dry arguments are inconclusive. A great personality whose opinion does not differ from others is not considered a great sage. Simply by studying Vedas, which are variegated, one cannot come to the right path by which religious principles are understood. The solid truth of religious principle is hidden in the heart of unadulterated, self-realized person. The solid truth is hidden in the heart of the unadulterated, self-realized person. Consequently, as the Shastras confirmed, one should accept whatever the progressive path the Mahajanas advocate. That's why the Vedas speak lot of dharma. Stri dharma, this dharma, that dharma. But we need to Mahajanayana gatasya pantha. One need to take shelter of a Mahajan, take shelter of Guru. Otherwise, we'll get confused. Vedas will confuse us. More we read Vedas, too much of scriptures and dry logic, will keep on getting... Kabiraj Goswami says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's the ocean of dry logic. And we may get completely carried away by the sarks of wrong conclusions if we do not take shelter of a Guru. So that is the problem of Dasrath Maharaj. He didn't took shelter. He had all. He is the king. He can... Definitely we can see in one way that it is a pastime. Leela. They all are all associates of the Lord. But they have come for what? To teach us something. Na? We learn the lesson. What is the lesson? This is the lesson. If you are put in a situation, don't go by your impulse. You can consult someone, Baba, who can help you. What is right dharma, wrong dharma. Right? So महाजनयन गतस्य पंथा. महाजन की पंथा को हमको फॉलो करना चाहिए. शास्त्र एक बताएगा. You read Devi Puran, you will see Devi is God there. You read Shiv Puran, Shiv is God. You read Vishnu Puran, Vishnu is God. Whom you will follow, Baba? You will get confused. Who is God only? Forget about other things. So that's why Mahajanayana gatasya pantha. You pick up a Mahajan, follow his lotus feet, aap tar jayenge. And the Mahajan, who is a Mahajan? Who has a Mahajan? This is the Guru Parampara. So that is how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told. Okay? Yes. Kushal Vihari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Dandavad.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It was a very wonderful lesson from here. Actually, I had two questions. So one question is like we were talking about keeping distance between women and men. Even in ISKCON society, it is being followed. But sometimes due to services, one devotees have to contact like Mataji. And Matajis have to contact Prabhuji.
Yes.
And we see this sometimes there are many examples within ISKCON society also. Many times this has transgressed the boundary of morality. And so what care should be taken? Because sometimes male devotees will call unnecessarily the female devotees, or female devotees will call unnecessarily. and this has created situations, bad situations. So what, as ISKCON society, what kind of measures ISKCON society can take to maintain this morality principle proper?
What ISKCON will do, unfortunately, ISKCON is collected with devotees only. Individually, we have to only take care to preserve the sanctity of ISKCON. Individually, we have to understand. See, institution is created by individuals, and strong individuals, right individuals, create a strong and right institution. So instead of blaming or what ISKCON can take major, we should understand that we should create an awareness. First, an awareness is required that here is a energy, we have to be careful. Just like we are so aware of gravitational energy, we go to the 16th floor, we look down, but we don't jump because we are aware of that gravitational energy. No one would think, देखते हैं क्या होता है, क्या होगा, चटनी बन जाएगा. So similarly, we have to be aware. People do not take this energy seriously. So if you take this energy seriously, you'll be careful. So the first thing is that we have to create an awareness of understanding that this energy is serious. We have to be careful in dealing with this energy. The second thing is that yes, we have to deal with the opposite gender in services and all. Yes, we do it, deal with services. What's wrong in that? We should deal with services. Now, why it transgress the principle of morality? Because after services, we try to do not understand that if the service goes beyond the personal likes and dislikes, so we should not get into personal. आपको क्या अच्छा लगता है? अरे क्या अच्छा लगता है? We should not discuss like this with a lady other than our wife. है ना? आपको बताइए ना, आपको क्या अच्छा लगता है? अरे तुमको क्या फर्क पड़ता है मेरे को क्या अच्छा लगता है नहीं लगता है? कृष्ण को ये अच्छा लगता है, तुम करो ये. So when we get into our personal likes and dislikes with opposite gender, this is allowed only within married ashram. Okay, the husband should understand the likes of wives, wives should understand the like of husband. Otherwise, it is no one's business. Right? Imagine a lady is hearing from another source that आपको क्या अच्छा लगता है बताइए. The lady immediately should tell to her husband कि अरे ये प्रभु जी मेरे को बोल रहे हैं कि मेरे को क्या अच्छा लगता है, आप समझा दीजिए थोड़ा. And the husband will समझा देगा अच्छे से कि उसको क्या अच्छा लगता है. Similarly, a husband is hearing from a lady that lady is calling the husband and telling आपको क्या अच्छा लगता है, मैं आपके लिए क्या बना सकता हूँ. Immediately the husband should call the wife and said अरे ये लड़की को बात करो तो ये बार बार मेरे को पूछ रही है क्या अच्छा लगता है क्या अच्छा लगता है. Like one person, I'll tell you, this is a real story. One person called me and said कि प्रभु जी, one lady is coming again and again into my office and offering me shirt. Today she purchased a shirt and gave, and I was like, I don't want to take, and in my office I am the boss, so whoever comes and gives me something, they take a photograph. So I am fearful this lady is giving me a shirt and this photograph goes to my wife. I don't know what she will think. What I have to do, Prabhuji? This lady हाथ धो के मेरे पीछे पड़ गई है. I said immediately, you have a lady, another lady who is for your protection. Tell your wife, right? ना वो गुस्सा हो जाएगी. मैं बोला अच्छा है ना, गुस्सा होने दीजिए. This is what is for your protection only. That immediately you should you have this lady's number who is coming and giving you a shirt and all those things. Nah, yes, Prabhuji. Immediately give that number to your wife. Immediately. And you will see the problem is nipped at the bud only. And your wife will call and give 2-3 doses paracetamol. Immediately the other lady's fever will go down. So, and this man was not ready. नहीं प्रभुजी, I think I need to take some guidance. You take guidance from somewhere else. I don't know, have any problem. But this is the antibiotic. This is the solution. Why? Because this man also has got attached to the lady now. 2, 3, 4 times the lady has come to his office and giving some gifts, different gifts, and the man is also thinking that, oh, this and this and this and that and so many things. Now when the man is hearing this thing, that give that lady's number to the wife, the man is thinking, no, how I can give, So this is the problem. So how we can say, immediately we have to report. So if we report, then there will be no problem. So there has to be report immediately. Okay. And for services we need to talk, and whatever is required for the services we need to do. What's wrong in that? It's not that the only men has to do services with men. It's not necessary. Sometimes we have to deal with the ladies. Ladies are good in certain things. Men making a mala, like here in our temple we have Vrindavan Chari Prabhu. Most of the time he is dealing with ladies only. He is our pujari. What he will do? All the mala seva are done by the ladies. The cooking seva are done by the ladies. Right? He has to coordinate. He has to deal. I think he is dealing with maximum ladies in this Calcutta city maybe. Right? But he has to do. What's wrong in that? So this for services we need to do, because for services we need to see the expertise. And ladies are expert in certain things, men are expert in certain things. Men are expert in management. And now for a manager, men has to be there. And these things will get completely, cannot be nullified. Even in spiritual world also, men talk with women talk with men, but then there is the boundary. There is, as you said, the boundary. And what we can do, immediately we report. Right? So immediately we report. And second thing, we have to understand that so long we are in material world, these dangers will always be there. We cannot create and have an idealistic idea about this material world. Material world is a dangerous place. We are prone to commit mistakes and errors, and we should not too much get so much complicated that how these errors are getting created. So we must try to transcend this world and enter spiritual world, which is beyond error. Whatever you do in material world, even men should associate men. Nowadays men also have started doing things. What will you tell me? Huh? Is men are safe with men? I don't think men are safe with men. So neither women are safe with women. So in that way, lust has transcended the genders. So in that way, we have to understand that there is no other way to transcend this material world. Right? We will think only if the men deal with only the men, there will be no problem. There will be problem also. And so services wise, we have to understand that we have to do the services, and based on expertise, some people may be required to do some services, and for that reason interactions may be required. But that interaction should be healthy. And for making those interactions healthy, both need to be proper. Now sometimes both a man and woman may be improper. Then someone else should report. अरे ये दोनों क्यों ज़्यादा लाइकिंग डिसलाइकिंग बात करते हैं कि प्रभु जी थोड़ा देखिए लाइक डिसलाइक क्या है. So like that. In that way the other people should report and everything. So in that way we can be safe. And sometimes even if we are safe and we may do right things, sometimes we may commit mistakes. So we should be ready to accept, okay, I committed a mistake, and we go ahead. Right? We have seen in our scriptures, Aswathama is getting an opportunity to become Vyasdev in next life. Can you imagine? We have read about Aswathama. He is going to become Vyasdev in next life. This is our Vedic culture, that no one is doomed to hell. Christianity and other religions, they say that doomsday will come. Eternally you go and suffer in hell. No, nothing called eternal hell. You commit mistake, you realize your mistake, get some atonement and punishment, then you reinstate yourself in the right position. There is nothing called kaise aise tumne kiya, eternally you go to hell. There is nothing like that. There is always scope of improvement, and we have to understand we are prone. Even Lord Shiva is prone, Lord Brahma is prone. And who are we? So we have to be careful. Even after becoming careful, we may get affected. We have to accept, yes, I got affected, and go ahead in life and be careful more next time. That's it. But we cannot ensure that we will not get affected. We cannot ensure this. That will be ensured only when you go to Vaikuntha. So long we are here, we are prone to get affected by this energy. Yeah. Okay. So we cannot avoid completely these situations. We cannot avoid. It is not possible. But what we can do is that if devotees are sincere, we can again mend them, make them more aware by being careful more. But there will be mistakes. There will be mistakes. Whether we are speaking about ISKCON, whether we are speaking about the outside world, then mistakes. And that is why we try to make the separation as strong as possible. As strong. But as you said, that it may not be always possible. It is all not possible, then we need to tolerate those mistakes. But in ISKCON also we should try to see that the men are dealing with men and women are dealing with women as much as possible. Okay.
Thank you. Can I ask second question?
Yes, you are in queue. Nidhi Mataji, Sabyasachi Prabhu, Udit Prabhu, Devmalya Prabhu, and then Kushal Bihari Prabhu. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, very small question. Who did you say is the husband of Ahuti?
Akuti. Akuti. There is one sage. I forgot the name of the sage. Some sage, I think. So Yagya, someone, I'll tell you. It's there in the Bhagavatam. Prasuti's husband is Daksha. Okay. Some sage was given. Okay, Haribol. Yes, Sabyasachi. Haribol.
Yes. So, taking it in from just today's class, where we have seen how men are getting distracted, and maybe because of material energy or so-called Maya. Probably this is the verse in Bhagavatam 9th canto, which says that one should not sit very close to one mother, sister, and daughter. That Mata Sparsha Dudava. Another work with Balavan Indriyagrama, Vidyasam Apikarsu. So if you talked about the corporate, that there is a lot of diversity and inclusion initiatives going on. Leaders are being forced to hire women. Even if leaders are not comfortable to work with women, of course those are a little bit advanced. How you deal with that? Because if you say, no, I do not want women in my team, then they will take it, no, you are not aligned with organizational philosophy of inclusive leadership. So that creates a stress for a devotee who is a little bit advanced. He is trying to put the same principle what he has learned in the corporate, but he is a successful failure there. Because material world, if you go corporate, principle is different. So how to deal with this duality?
Yeah. So corporate world today expects that one becomes Narad Muni, and and as Narad Muni he is becoming a CEO of a company. But unfortunately, we are not Narad Munis. So that is how we see that in corporate, unfortunately, there is so much of exploitation of both the genders. Women exploiting men, men exploiting women, and all those things that goes on in corporate. So now what to do as a devotee if we are placed as a in charge or a boss or a CEO or something where we have to be gender diverse, as is the nomenclature of this world today, that everywhere there has to be. I saw in the petrol pump nowadays ladies are being employed for giving petrol. That is the gender level of gender diversity corporate culture is expecting. So what to do, how to deal with that? So the first thing we have to do is that maintain a very corporate relationship with the ladies. So as much as possible, to the point, to work, and nothing about liking, disliking, this and that and all those things. And we can ensure, second thing is that as much as possible we try to make discussions on mails, on mailers, on the chat boards that nowadays all the companies are using, so that they are documented. As soon as we have a understanding that everything is getting documented, so we have a fear also. And also we should also document our WhatsApp. Sometimes make an allegation about us. Nowadays there are a lot of allegations. Oh, this person talked with this lady. So we should all ensure, if we are working in a boss like place where we are dealing with ladies, all our mailers, all our someone should mute, all our mailers, all our WhatsApp, we should archive them and never lose them. They are our protection against the allegations that may come to us. Some lady, some characterless lady, or someone who is envious of us may give an allegation that, you know, this person is doing this, that person. We should never delete our WhatsApp chats. We should never delete our mails. Imagine we may have to pay a little more for getting a storage, extra storage in Gmail or something. We should never delete them. They should remain as a proof that we have not talked inappropriately with a lady, because sometimes we may have allegations upon us, so for those who are envious of us. So third thing, as much as possible, try to keep group meetings where a lady and men are there. Try not to deal with a lady or anyone on one-to-one basis as much as possible. So these certain things we can take care. First, we have to maintain very corporate relationship, to the point. Right? आप क्या खाना खाए, क्या खाना लेके आए, आपके घर में क्या चल रहा है. We should never be bothered about it. उसका घर में क्या चल रहा है, उसके हस्बैंड को पता है, उसको पता है, हमको पता नहीं. तो आप क्या खाना खा रहे हैं, कैसे खा रहे हैं, आपका पेट ठीक है, ये है, वो है. These are not things we should deal with. So very corporate. काम किया, कैसे किया, क्या बचा, क्या नहीं बचा, बस that's it. क्यों नहीं कर पाए, आपके घर में समस्या है तो ओके ठीक है, घर में समस्या है, then you report to HR. You have some problems, you send her to HR if she has some personal problems. Talk with HR, and I can also have a word with HR if you have some personal problems, and we can solve it together. Don't try to solve the problem of a lady alone. Solve it together with the HR. There are always some people who will be there, especially the HR is the recruiter. We can keep her in the loop always if some lady is facing some personal problem in solving some corporate issues. Second thing I said is that try to keep all of the WhatsApps and everything stored, archived, so as a proof that we have not dealt inappropriately, because there can be allegations upon us from the envious sources in corporate. There is a lot of news about some people allegation, this and that. And the third principle is try to, as much as possible, keep another person in the loop when we are dealing with a lady on a physical basis. So these are 3-4 restrictions we can do, and changes we can do a little bit in order to avoid this, but we cannot create a different principle. The corporate is designed with that principle. It is gender diverse and whatever we may say. Because women are, again, as I am telling in ISKCON, what I said, women are expert in, so they are also realizing women are expert in doing certain things. So they are wanting let women also do those things which they are expert in. So when they get into women, and then they also have to suffer the consequences of getting women into the workplace. But we have to be careful, and if you are careful, then we can work together very nicely. Men and women can work together if men understand the caution, women understand the caution behind how to do. There will be no problem. Right?
So you're, I know, to say you're putting myself into danger because I'm in HR.
Yeah, yes. So then HR also should have a deputy HR. But needless to say, one has to be very, very careful. Very, very. One has to have a what you say, discouraging and attitude towards all these things. One should not be very enthusiastic towards okay, uska problem solve kar lo. Nahi, we have to tell the problem of lady is the problem of lady's husband. Problem of the husband is the problem of the husband's wife. So let them solve. I will, if they both husband and wife come, then only I can solve. Otherwise, let them solve their problems. We should not try to get into personal life of both men and women. Then we are safe in corporate. Okay, yes, Udit Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, and Pranam. Prabhu, my question is that Uttan Path was written that he was fearful of Suruchi. Right? So sometime also when we want to do something, like we don't want to do that, but we are fearful that if we don't do that, it will create some fight in the family. But I mean, like from a spiritual point of view also, or a material point of view also. So how we can make a balance in such situations, right? Because we have to give time to the family also, but sometimes we have to do certain things which we don't like also. So from that point of view,
not like means what?
Sometimes like that person wants to go out or something, like shopping and all, but which we don't like. We want to use it for something else, maybe to speak with the wood or read something Bhagavatam. So but we are fearful if we don't do this, the conflicts might arise.
Yeah, correct. Now I understand what you are telling.
Yes. So from that point of view, that how we can make that balance. I mean, yeah, we have to do something spiritually, or maybe something we don't want to, we want to do, but we can't do it because we are fearful of not doing it. So how we can make it balance?
So this problem can be faced by a husband also and a wife also, both.
Right.
So one has to understand that you are also learning some spiritual principle by this. In Sri Vrindavan Dham, you might want to make Krishna wear a Rajnigandha flower garland, but Krishna or Radharani wants Krishna to wear a marigold garland. So, okay, let Radharani be pleased. So we have to also understand, and we have to see that how in a situation which is completely material, where a wife is demanding chalo shopping mein, then we try to get spiritual advancement from it. It's all about our perspective. So okay, I want to read now, my wife wants to go for shopping. So the same situation can happen in Vrindavan. The same situation can happen with my guru. That I want something, guru wants something. So let me learn sacrifice of my own desires for pleasing someone. Now why Uttanapad is condemned is because he is making undue sacrifice. It's not that we don't make any sacrifice for the wife and the men should sit like Narad Muni in the homes. This is not what is the purport of today's class. And the men should sit like Narad Muni, and the wife is telling, no, Prabhuji has said, ki never get attached to the, you are making me puppet. I will not go for shopping. So it's not that I am telling that the husband should become Narad Muni, but what I am telling is that the husband should not take undue sacrifice to the wife, and the wife should not unduly control the husband through in the wrong ways. That's it. So if the wife is telling that go for shopping and all those things, so husband should see, now I want to study, but here is a way to make spiritual advancement. Am I ready to make a sacrifice? Right? But imagine the wife is telling, I want to eat non-veg. Then the husband, it is undue sacrifice. Nahi bhai, you want to take non-veg, you order yourself. I am giving you some pocket money every month. In that pocket money, you order non-veg and you eat, but I will not allow non-veg. I will not allow. So in this way, undue sacrifice, due sacrifice, right? So this is first thing we have to understand. The second principle is, it is also the partner's responsibility to make the other partner get inspired in Krishna consciousness, right? Now, definitely there are certain philosophy which you can read, but there are certain stories which you can read with the wife, and then, oh, the wife will also be fascinated to read the stories with you. Or while going on the way, you can start speaking about what you have read. And then the lady or the husband or the wife may be very fascinated. Imagine the same situation can happen for a wife, where the husband is not interested for reading and the wife is interested, thoda udhar ISKCON mein jana hai. Husband is telling, no, 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 humko ye kharidne jana hai, idhar jana hai. And the wife says, oh, theek hai, let me go now to that place, and try to please her in that way or him in that way. Then he or she is interested to again follow what I am telling. But we learn a lot of things in Grihastha Ashram. And the first principle that we learn is sacrifice. Sacrificing our desires, which will be very much utilized in Vrindavan Dham, which is very much utilized in spiritual life. Don't think that going to shopping with a wife is only a material experience. You are learning, especially you have any other desire other than going for shopping. That is the moment you learn spiritually most. Right? And the same thing can happen with the Guru. The Guru may have a desire you do this, and the man or woman may have desire, no, mere ko ye acha lagta hai. So there is also sacrifice required. Right? So we are learning a lot. Right? Grihastha Ashram teaches a lot. Similarly, Brahmachari Ashram also teaches a lot. Staying together, you learn a lot of things. And for that matter, we need to do a little bit of sacrifice. That's required. What's the problem? But we should not do undue sacrifice for someone, for pleasing someone. You know, we should not break the principles of religion, principles of dharma for sacrifice. That is undue sacrifice. That is not accepted. Otherwise, we should take our wives for shopping and doing all these things. That's good. Yes, then the wife will be happy. Yes. Okay. Hare Krishna. And if we are behaving nicely, then she will also understand that my husband wants to read. So then she will also read with you. Or she will also tell that today I am giving you off from shopping. Take it, enjoy it. In that way, human beings are very much personal beings. They are very sensitive. So if we are sensitive to their needs, so if the wife is sensitive to husband's need, husband will be sensitive to wife's need. That's how reciprocal it is. There may be exceptions, but mostly it is like that. Okay. So Uttanapad's problem, Suruchi asking Uttanapad what she is asking, and another wife asking for shopping is, don't make it and come in the same platform. You know, Suruchi is behaving in a different way, and wife is asking going for shopping is a different way. So we have to understand the way, the dharma. Okay. All the best. Please take Mataji for shopping. Yes, Dev Malya Prabhu, and then last Kushal Vihari Prabhu, and we'll end.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavata. So Prabhuji, I just wanted to ask these questions from Kushal Vihari Prabhu.
Kushal Vihari Prabhu. Okay.
You also told the same thing, like we should not ask any woman like what she likes and dislikes and all. You gave some pointers on it. Okay. Especially like those who are married, and if other women are coming and telling to the husband the same thing, you told like they should report to the wife or guru. But now Prabhuji, like those who are unmarried, right? now to find a partner and all, we are already started asking to some companion like what you like and dislike. So is this right or wrong?
Okay.
Not one, we are asking multiple.
I think that is why I became a brahmachari. That I do not have to ask this question to anyone. Okay. Yeah. Yes. So we have to understand that when we want to get married and all, we need to find a right match and everything. And for that reason, we need to understand what is the like and dislike, so that it's a match. It's a possibility of a match. But we have to understand, imagine after understanding that the match is not possible, then we should cut off immediately any relationship with that girl, right? Sometimes we may meet first time, second time, some proposal has come, or we have ourselves created a proposal. So whatever situation it may be, that we sometimes come to realize that it's maybe a prospective candidate, and then we start interacting, but that interaction should be as short while as possible. We should be very clear what we want to interact, what we want to know, and as within 1 or 2 times. It should not happen that 6 mahina, 1 saal, 2 saal, 5 years, 10 years we are talking, and I'm still deciding, Prabhuji, whether she can be my met or not. So this 1 or 2 times, maximum 2 times, or maximum maybe 3 times we talk, and within that we realize, okay, this is me or not. And many things we realize after marriage. So even if you talk 10 years with a girl before marriage, after marriage you will still realize something new. So keep those ecstasies clear. So but 3 times maximum, 3 times is already a maximum. 1 or 2 times we can talk and we understand. We should have proper our likes and dislikes ready, and whether she will be a match or not, and then imagine she is a match and we go ahead. Otherwise, think that she is not a match, then we should immediately cut off all relationship, block and everything. Otherwise it will create problems. So this is first thing. And second thing, we should not have the mood of hunting for girls. Wherever we go, which girl is for me, which boy is for me. This is not the right attitude. Just because I'm unmarried, I'm keeping on looking, which father, mother are coming with unmarried girl and all. This is not good attitude. Understand one thing: if you are destined to get married, Krishna will make the right ayojan, the devatas will make the right ayojan at the right time, and all those things, everything will become, and then it will happen. So as far as marriage is concerned, we should have this disposition that I have seen people, when I used to go to Mayapur in locals, I will see one blind beggar singing, and behind the blind beggar one lady would be there to help him. Now the blind beggar has no capacity. He's blind, and second thing, he's beggar. He has got a wife, and our men are thinking whether I should get a wife or not. Hurry, you will get a wife, Baba. Definitely everyone will get a wife, and a lady will get a husband. When the right moment comes, everything will be created. So we should give up this hunting principle. This is not good. We'll lose the sanctity of our society, whether it is spiritual society or material society, in trying this culture of hunting. Now we see that wherever we go, boys are hunting for girls, girls are hunting for who will be my partner. Why you have to search your partner? The devatas are already ordained, because they are trying to go against the principles of dharma. That's why so much of divorce happens, this happens, and finally they'll end up with the right partner. Some people get married at 27, 28, and hunting, and finally divorce. Okay, first time, second time divorce. Okay, third time divorce. At the age of 33, they're settled. That means at the age of 33, they're supposed to settle. Because they were going against the principle of dharma, they had to go through the principles of divorce. We should not be worried so much and try to hunt. Ye kar lenge, wo kar lenge. That is not good. If it comes, it will come. Definitely it will come. We should have faith on the demigods. They are more concerned to get us married, because by marriage they will be able to give us the happiness and the yatanas, both. Many of our purifications are remaining without not getting married. So they are more worried that this fellow is not getting married. And many things are supposed to get purified from him. It's not going out. So they are worried. So if we too much worry beyond demigods, then more purification will come. Let it happen on its own course. This is the second principle I wanted to tell on this question. The first is, it should be limited. 1, 2, 3, finished. Not that 10 years we are thinking whether this girl is mine or not mine. This is not. The second is, we should not be worried too much about, kab milegi my dream girl, kab milegi my dream boy. It will come in the right time. If it comes before, then it will create more problems. Right? Demigods are worried, and they will definitely give us, because many of our karmic things that we are supposed to receive are associated with our partner. So they are very much concerned. इसको partner नहीं मिलेगा तो ये सब जो उसको मिलना है कैसे देंगे, फिर मुश्किल हो जाएगा. उनका calculations गणना सब मुश्किल हो जाएगा. So that is going to happen. Don't worry. Purification is something which is inevitable.
But Prabhuji, I just wanted to add one point. Like as you are telling, like we should not hunt, right? So बहुत सारे लड़कों का या लड़कियों का ऐसा mood नहीं रहता कि they will hunt like this. But sometimes what happens, like we are in this material world, right? Because of that societal pressure, people sometimes they get fed up and they do some other things.
Yeah, correct. The society gives pressure.
So now what, how shall we handle? Like मेरे को मन नहीं है, ठीक है? But because of some societal pressure, आ रहा है वो चीज. Now what shall we do? हर टाइम पे एक कान से नहीं घुसा सकते और एक कान से नहीं निकाल सकते.
Yeah, correct. So the society gives pressure कि अरे ये हो गया, तुम्हारा इतना उम्र हो गया, शादी नहीं हुआ, क्या कर रहा है, and what we should handle, how we should handle the societal pressure, which is very important factor, because we have to live with the society. So we should tell if the society is putting pressure. You find out. Like sometimes so many people put pressure on me. अरे क्या तुमने ऐसे कर दिया, वैसे कर दिया. I said I could not find out a right match. So society will put pressure, but ultimately if we get so much pressurized by society and marry anyone and everyone, who is going to suffer? Society तो हाथ धो के चली जाएगी, फिर झेलेंगे हम. So that is how. So if we are fearful of this, then we will tolerate the pressure of the society. That by the pressure of the society, if I am too much worried about somehow or other trying to marry anyone or everyone because umar ho raha hai, aise nahi, you marry anyone and everyone, then you will end up into problem. So don't get succumbed by the societal pressure. And if the society is pressuring, you find out some proposal, and I am ready to talk, initiate the talk and all. And if they cannot find out a proposal, we said, okay, theek hai, it will come by its own. But we cannot just marry anyone and everyone just because to satisfy the society, satisfy the parents. Previous times people have done it. To satisfy someone they have married, and the marriage was such a horrible thing. Right? So we have to understand, we have to commit to that girl, to that boy. So it's not based on, okay, the father is telling, mother is telling, or society is telling, this is telling, that is telling. You have to take the responsibility. So then we should be ready for the responsibility. So we should not, when we are fearful of the consequences, we can tolerate. Okay. All the best. Don't worry.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Definitely you are going to get married with all blessings of all these devotees and Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yes, Kushal Vihari Prabhu.
Prabhuji, here in purport of 10th verse, Prabhupada is saying this is the nature of woman. If a woman understands that her husband regards her as a favorite and is especially affectionate to her, she takes undue advantage. So, actually, these kind of purports are very difficult to understand. Sometimes whenever Prabhupada makes this statement, this is the nature of woman. How to actually comprehend with these, how to understand these purports, because it's like generalized here that this is the nature of a woman. So, of course, you are giving class and sometimes you are asked this type of question. If I'm involved in preaching, we are involved in preaching, so we may get questions for this. How to reply it.
So this is the nature of woman. What's wrong in this? That women have this nature, and this nature is created for a particular purpose, and they misuse the purpose. The women have got this nature. What is the nature? They can take advantage and control the husband. Why? So that the husband doesn't get controlled by lusty woman. If the husband is controlled by the wife, whose benefit it is? It is the husband's benefit only. So this is the nature of the woman. So the woman should realize, if I don't control my husband, some lusty woman will control my husband and lead to destruction of my husband, lead to my destruction, lead to destruction of the family. So in this way, the nature of the woman is to control the husband, and it is good. It is required. It is required for the proper functioning of the society that ladies, the wives, control their husband. But not like Suruchi is controlling Uttanapad, but the way how they control by making the husbands more spiritual, right? So in this way, the woman, it's not that the woman, it's the general nature of a woman that women know that they can control the husband, and they control their husband, and it is good that they control their husband. Because you as a husband, you are reading the purport with the perspective that why it is written that the woman is controlling me. But I am telling from a neutral perspective that yes, the husband should understand that my wife, it is for my safety that my wife controls me. Right?
So, Prabhuji, it is written she takes undue advantage.
Yeah, so obviously, so whenever you have a power, you get corrupted. That's how the material world is designed. So how it is designed that it takes undue advantage. So women have a power, that is the nature, to control the men, and they take undue advantage of that power. And generally in this material world, this is being seen. Anyone who has power, if he has no control, no supervision, they will exploit that power. This is the general nature of the material world and the general nature of the materialistic woman. What's wrong in that? So when it is generalized based on the material world, material realm. But the exceptions are always there. There are saintly ladies, right? So when the ladies read this, they should understand that, oh, I should not become like Suruchi. Though I know I have a power, I should not become like Suruchi. So I should become like Kunti. I should become like Draupadi. Like that. So the scriptures actually want to tell us the right behavior. If there is something wrong in the part of woman, scriptures will tell it. It's not that scriptures are fearful, Srila Prabhupada is fearful. Hare, 50% in this world are men, 50% are women. If I speak like this about women, my 50% rating will go down. I will not get votes from the ladies. No. If the ladies have some bad quality, it has to be exposed. If the men have some bad quality, it has to be exposed. So that not just to expose the man and woman, just to help the man and woman come to sanity. But this is how we can see as an appreciation to Srila Prabhupada that he is not trying to pamper ladies or pamper men or pamper anything for his own gratification, that he will become famous. He is speaking the truth. Why we should be fearful? And if a lady is proper, she should also accept the truth. Yes, this is the truth, that we fellows, we control the husband, and it is good that they control the husband. This is nothing wrong to control the husband, but how you control the husband, you have to learn. Don't control like Suruchi. Right?
Guruji, on the other hand, a husband starts thinking, is she taking my undue advantage? Has seen this example. So sometimes, especially because devotees are reading this, so devotees will become more, especially when husbands will become.
Good. If the husband is becoming more careful, then the husband should understand, let me not get controlled by my husband, my wife, let me get controlled by my guru. And then when the wife sees that my husband is fully controlled by guru, then the wife will stop controlling the husband. The wife will be very secured. Why the wife is not feeling secured, want to control? Because she is seeing that this fellow is may go around with another girl. But if the wife sees my husband is fully surrendered to Guru, Guru will never speak to go around and loiter with another woman, why the wife will control? Wife will also, बहुत अच्छा गुरु मिला है मेरे को, मेरे हस्बैंड को कान पकड़ा के मेरे चरण में ही लगाएगी. So then the wife will stop controlling. So whose benefit happens? Benefit happens to the wife, benefit happens to the husband. So if the husband knows this and he becomes fearful, the ladies have big power, Baba. So then immediately he should give up getting controlled by the wife and immediately take shelter of Guru. And when the husband takes shelter of the Guru, the wife stops controlling the husband. Why? The wife's fear is gone. What is the wife's fear? One has to understand. This man will run away with another woman. This is the fear. You ask any lady, any married lady, this is the fear. So as soon as the wife sees that the husband is surrendered to Guru and right principles, why the wife will control? If he is a proper wife. If someone is like Suruchi, then there is no question of discussion for that wife. Why the wife will control? The wife knows that my husband is in safe hands. He will be very responsible. He will never loiter with another woman. He will never take care of us and the family. Finished. So the problem is beginning with the husband only. Wives are all catalysts. Ladies are catalysts. The husbands are not surrendered to Guru. As soon as the husband is surrendered to Guru, wife will immediately surrender to husband. The wife will stop controlling the husband. It's the nature of another nature of woman also, which is not mentioned in this purport, that the nature of woman is they are naturally shelter seeking. If they see the right principle, they'll immediately take shelter. So that also nature is there, which is also generalized. Women are like this and women are like that also. What like that? That they can easily surrender. That's why we see so many women coming to our classes, not men much. Why? They are naturally surrendered. They are having natural faith. कुछ स्वामी जी बोल रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छा बोल रहे हैं, थोड़ा दंडवत करो स्वामी जी से, कुछ आशीर्वाद मिलेगा, ये मिलेगा, वो मिलेगा. Women have natural surrendering attitude. But why that woman is not surrendering to the man? Why the woman is putting matha more and more to the brahmacharis and the sannyasis? Because they know these fellows put they're following the right principles. So if the husband becomes like that, so woman will put matha dub to the husband also. The husbands are not becoming right examples for their wives. Okay, sorry for but I will never go with this is the nature of women. Srila Prabhupada is telling that women have this problem. And Srila Prabhupada never wanted to impress or pamper anyone. This is something which I really feel impressed about Srila Prabhupada. Others, so then Srila Prabhupada is attracting people like me. So otherwise Srila Prabhupada's books will attract people, ruffians and rogues. We want Srila Prabhupada books, and Srila Prabhupada is attracting people who are honest, who are truthful. So this is something which I feel impressed that yes, Srila Prabhupada is bold enough to write what is right and speak what is wrong. This is something which the woman has, right? It is inbuilt and it is created, given in the woman to protect the husband. But because that power is given, and they have also a power to, the men have got some power. The nature of men is to exploit the power. See, that is the nature of, basic nature of material world, what we can do. Anyone who is having any power in material world, will exploit. So similarly, women are no exception. They are in material world, they exploit. You understanding? Hare Krishna. Yes. Oh, now it is 9. Ankit Prabhu, you have some questions at 9 o'clock. I have to go. Yes, last question.
Hare Krishna, Guruji, please forgive me for being such late, asking late question. Actually, thank you so much for the wonderful class and to the devotees who asked so wonderful questions. My small question is to how we can truly appreciate the internal qualities of our partner.
It's a very nice question. I think we should have a half an hour discussion on this, that how to see our partner spiritually. Maybe next class we can discuss on this topic, which is a very, very nice topic. How to see our partner in divine vision and not with external vision. This is a very, very nice question. Okay, so we will discuss this. You remind it, and I will also remember. I will make some notes and come prepared next week to how to see our partner with divine vision. This is the last section of this book which I am writing. I have divided the book into 5 sections. This is the last section which I have put on this book on marriage. How to see our partner with divine vision. How to see their divine qualities, because this energy is so strong, forces us to see the partner externally, correct? So, but how to look within? That is a very nice question. Okay. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Uttanapad Maharaj ki jai. And Suruchi Devi Dasi ki jai. And no offense to Uttanapad and Suruchi Devi Dasi ki jai. They are great souls. But we are trying to learn what we can learn from them. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.